Hey, this is Uncle Mark in the Mothership. 3-string cigar box guitar. This is the solo section of After Midnight. The song is pretty easy. Okay? G, B flat, C, and a D are in it. Okay, so I've got my vintage 47 amp. I'm also using some delay. I'm using a Cale magnetic echo. I like Cale products. I'm using a Earthquaker gray channel with the green setting. It's like a tube screamer. I'm also using my looper. So it's kind of what I'm doing here and how I get this that kind of sound. You can hear it. So if you got a delay on your modeling amp, use it, a little bit of it, sparingly. It works really well if you use a little bit of it. Delay and reverb are like salt and pepper. A little bit goes a long way. If you have a little grit, you can turn that up through your solo. If you're using a tube amp, you know, sometimes they have modeling selections. You can do that. Otherwise, you know, tube screamers work great. Maxon 808s work great. This is the standard. So that's what I'm using, and so I'm going to go through this. This is a signature lick, signature Eric thing, especially the first 2 phrases of this. And then I kind of play with it a little bit. So I'll show you what I mean. Here we go. So where am I going and how am I getting there? Those are the real questions. So the song is in G, so that means all of these notes are good to play in a solo. G, D, and G. All the G's work, all the D's work. It has a B flat in it. That means the B flat works. And that means the F works. It also has a C in it. That means the C works. And that means, you know, that's a G, right? Okay, it has a D in it. D works. We've already established that. Okay, this note works as well. Okay, that's an A. So what we're doing here is playing with those specific notes. So F to G. So we know G is here. We know G is here. We know G is here. I just tuned a change the string, so it's a little bit off. There's a G right there. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Of course, we know B flat works. That works. C works. Right? So we know these things work. D works. We know G works. F works. This is a C. We know C works. Okay, so we know that these notes work. Those notes work. These notes work. We know this note works. Okay? And the reason it is because it's a B flat. So learning what's around the guitar neck and learning where these notes are will help you a lot. Just remember, whatever the song is in, that's the key, that's home base. So I think of a solo as hitting the basses, and you're going around the bass, and you go to first, you go to second, you go to third, but you gotta go home. Now, home can be D down here, G down here, home can be here, home can be here, right? It's wherever you happen to be in your phrasing. so to say. So this song starts out with a. So I'm coming down on my pick twice. So it's a hammer on. Then I'm going to go to this D. And then I'm going to slide my third finger up to that B flat and slide back down. Now, from here I can slide down or I can use my first finger and shift. It's all up to you. So I am doing a lot of these. So I'm going through my notes from D to C to B flat to G. D, C, B flat, G. F, G, F, G, F, G, F, D. B flat, G, F, D, C, B flat, G. That's the signature lick. And from there, okay, you're going to get into the G, B flat, C, D. Okay, when you're on a D and you've got this 5 chord, this D chord, there's your D. You want to be come into it in a funky way with a. So I'll show you what I'm doing here, and I'll loop it again, and I'll show you here. I stayed in this little spot. F, D. That works really well, so I'm going down, back, down, back, down, back. That works really well. You can do that up here. I switch fingers because it's easier for me to get to this. This is a G. It's a B flat. Same type of fingering, but different spot. You can bend a C. And you can play these little crying games. And if you notice, I'm using my wrist more than just wiggling, you know? A whole summer to learn vibrato, so trust me, it's not something you're going to learn overnight, and if you do, more power to you, man, because it took me a while. This note also works if you bend it up a little bit and cry. But remember, there's your G is where you want to be. There's a little trick you can do from G, B flat, and D here. So you're going down, hammer off, D. It sounds really cool when you do it in the right spot. You can do it on this as well. You can do it here, here, and here. You can do it here. I suggest looking at my soloing lessons. That's all in G, all of that stuff. I've got a 10-step to solo method. Look at that. It's called Left Hand Technique, and it'll show you really in depth exactly what's going on. But I wanted to show you that signature lick, that sounds just like Eric, right? Just wonderful stuff. It has a Claptonesque flavor to it. It does not sound like JJ Cale's solos. His solos are more in a different musical direction than Eric's. Anyway, so those are things to fool around with while you're playing. Sorry to go through a lot of the bibs and bobs through this thing. This is Uncle Mark in the mothership. Thank you so much for all your donations. I do have a link down below, a paypal.me/Uncle Mark Tips. Big things are coming. Big things are coming. We're a little bit away though. So big things are coming, just letting you know. And thank you for your subscriptions. I've never thought this channel would take off so much. I just want to thank you all so much for everything you do for me. For those of you that want to donate that don't have a PayPal account, there is a workaround for that. It's on Google, and I'm working on that. I've got some people looking into it. So try that if you can, and if not, I love you just the same. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. We'll see you.